So you guys are at who all went to Engage? Just the three of you there in the room? Okay. Well, let's start with what you guys thought overall. I mean, I was there last year. I couldn't make it this year. I thought that the Apple campus space was really a nice location to do this. How did the Apple space feel to you this year?
I thought it was, it's somewhat the same, obviously. The food is good. I guess one of my takeaways from this conference was kind of, some of the energy from the Claris team was a little more obvious than past years. I think for whatever reason, and I'm not privy to the inner workings at Claris really, but I think the new CEO, Ryan McCann, has kind of energized their staff a bit. And I was kind of excited to see that. I think there's going to be some interesting new kind of slants in their marketing, and I'm just kind of excited to see that excitement from them. That was one of my takeaways anyway.
Did they talk about any kind of a new direction or new focus for FileMaker? Is he bringing a new vision to the product?
Well, I think we're actually a little bit uncertain of our NDAs on some of what we saw at the conference, so we'll go a little bit light on exact details, but they're obviously continuing to integrate AI into the platform.
Big focus. There was actually, from my vantage point, there's a huge focus shift on AI. Of course, as it pertains to almost everything, but there was a huge focus with both the keynote speech as well as several other sessions, really focusing on integration and some really cool stuff that they're releasing in the next version about AI, and then even a longer term goal of doing some really the sort of the things you actually are expecting to have in FileMaker are planned for the future. Again, with skirting that NDA, we're not quite sure how much we can talk about, but it's looking really good for our horizon.
So when you talk about, and I know I understand the NDA part, but you got my juices flowing. So they're an Apple company, right? And Apple spent a lot of time talking about Apple Intelligence, although I think I just heard on MacBreak Weekly they're not going to get it out into like fully into the iPhone until next year. There've been some delays with Apple Intelligence, but do you think there's any possibility they'll just build that right into this product since they're the same company, or are they really looking at allowing you to make API calls into these other models, ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, etc.? Blank face. Can't talk about it.
Well, we can talk in generality. I think they're going to do, based on what we saw, I think they're going to do what you would expect them to do, which is to build support for AI technology deeper into the product. I think both for the front end user, the end user of FileMaker, and probably equally important for us as developers, what you can do with AI tools as software developers these days is pretty amazing. And it would be crazy for Claris and FileMaker not to provide those kinds of capabilities to FileMaker developers. It would put us all at a competitive disadvantage. So we're looking forward to seeing some integration of AI into development capabilities for sure.
Yeah, and they've already got a lot of AI integration already, but they're really polishing it up for the next release for features that you can have in there. So I'm excited. I was a little worried going into it about how fast FileMaker was going to transition, but it looks like they've got a good roadmap, and they're going to embrace AI and go forward with all the things you're kind of hoping for.
I think there were at least 8 AI sessions, including Zandon's, maybe 9 or 10, but a pretty high percentage of the sessions overall were AI focused. Certainly obvious that Claris is treating that pretty seriously.
Mm-hmm.